Good evening and welcome into Delmarva Sports Insider. I'm Jordan Kudish.
And I'm Sports Director Brandon Bossert. We are bringing you the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time, and we have an amazing show for you tonight.
And it's yours truly, Devin J. Martin. Brandon, Jordan, things have been heating up all week, and I'm giddy with excitement for tonight's show. I'm glad to be back here after missing last week's DSI, and I'm glad to be here with you and Jordan. This is really fun.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan Kudish is going to be a permanent stay here on DSI. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, guys.
A great host to be here on the desk with
I'm
us.
excited. Look at this smile. I'm so excited to be here. And you know, Devin, Brandon, it's awesome to work with you both. So hopefully we can continue this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's a great night to talk about some basketball because we had an amazing night tonight, especially here in Salisbury.
Sure
yeah,
did.
we definitely did, especially at the Waller Dome. There was a lot on the line there.
Yeah, there sure was. A spot in the state semis on the line tonight, and things were pretty ugly early on for Y-High. Liberty hit Y-High in the mouth in the opening minutes. Derek Goff hits the tray ball, and things beginning to unravel for the Tribe. Y-High having trouble on the boards in the first quarter. Lions taking advantage. Cam Hodges lining up the tray, knocking it down. Y-High just can't buy a board. There's Tyler Downs gathering. Kick out to Golf. There's Elias Rimmel. And down she goes. Y-High calling timeout.
Yeah, Brandon, this did look ugly. Liberty brought their student section, and they were ahead 28-10. For Y-High, this could have gotten even more ugly really quick. The gym was practically silent with the exception of the Liberty student section, but this is when the tide began to turn.
Exactly call it magic. My mind was thinking, what are we going to do at halftime? What am I going to say? I got to do something. And I pretty much knew what I was going to say. There wasn't any need to panic. It's early. You know, it's not the guy that comes out of the blocks first that wins the race. So they got it. They got the message. It was a little loud.
So how would the Tribe respond? You see Jaden Handy with the drive three the hard way. Now, how about the jumper from Jace Freeman? Normally you see him dunking, but the mid-range shot right there is good. And then here comes the leader, B.J. Cook, driving through the trees. The floater is up and in. Cook this time passing it out to Handy in the corner. You see Y-High's confidence grow with every bucket they
absolutely.
get. And Jace Freeman, he's on the drive. The lane is good. The student section is going wild. And that is a 20-0 run in the second quarter. 20-0. Unbelievable is right. And the Tribe somehow went into the half with the lead.
Yeah, it was unreal to watch this live. Give credit to the 8-seed Liberty. They did not quit. That was Tyler Downs hitting the tray. How about Jace Freeman fighting for the board, grabs it, puts it back. This was a back-and-forth affair in the second half. Here's the man, B.J. Cook. His shot was working all night. He had 17 for the Tribe. Y-High ahead 6 with 20 seconds left. Hold on. That three-pointer makes it a 3-point lead. Now, after a missed free throw, Liberty with a shot, no good. Second chances missed. Finally, they put it in. Y-High's lead down to 1. 5.8 left on the clock. Things were tight at the Waller Dome. But in the end, B.J. Cook inbounds to Jace Freeman. Time runs out, and Y-High storms all the way back from 18 points down. Let's just watch this celebration because this team absolutely deserved to celebrate tonight. Y-High lost out on the opportunity to compete for a title in 2020. They went to the Final Four. They lost their season in 2021. They started from scratch this year. And somehow, this team is in the Final Four for the 2A. Let's watch them cut the nets down. There's Butch Waller after we saw Jace and B.J. Cook. They were partying at the Waller Dome tonight. Let's listen in to Freeman and Cook after that buzzer sounded.
Just get back in there, you feel me? We ain't want to go home out early, you feel me? Love the season, love my guys, so we just wanted to take it as far as we can. And State's on the way, we here.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is exactly what we wanted to be, and we really did it. Yo, this is crazy. Ain't no better feeling right now, for sure. We love y'all, man. We couldn't have did it without you.
Wow.
What a celebration there. Y-High obviously showing a lot of heart tonight, no question.
Absolutely. This was an unbelievable turnaround. When I first got to this gym tonight, I got there. It was 11-7. Liberty was ahead. They got up 28-10. We saw all those 3-pointers that Liberty was dropping on Y High, and you could see the morale in the crowd just going down with every single shot that Liberty made. But Y High, every single shot that they made, you could see that confidence just starting to come back into them. The confidence was growing with every single bucket. And you know what? You got to give a lot of credit not only to Butch Waller, who's been doing this for 56 years and has a state title under his belt, over 800 wins, but also B.J. Cook. He is the absolute leader of this team, and I'm not sure where this team would be without B.J. Cook. It's an amazing story what's happening over at the Waller Dome this year. To basically go out to the football team, Butch Waller told me that they had 19 kids for tryouts this year, which is not very many compared to what Y High is used to. He's told me he's had 110 kids try out in years past. He had 19 this year to pick from, and he was telling me that this is maybe the best group of kids that he has ever had at Y High, and it's just amazing. The perseverance that you see with this team, any team being down 18 points in the first half in the state quarterfinals, a lot of teams may just give up or I don't know. But you know what? Y High showed a lot of heart tonight, and you got to give them a lot of credit.
So, Brandon, what were some of the things that you saw that led them being down that much that early?
Well, I'll tell you what. The difference between a team that doesn't have that discipline, I'm going to call out Laurel here. They started chucking up 3-pointers just against Salesianum. They were down 4 points, but they started chucking up 3-pointers. You could see that they weren't disciplined out there on the court. Y High down 18 points. They kept on the offense the entire time. They just did not give up. And you got to give a lot of credit to Butch Waller, but also the leadership that's on the floor.
And you mentioned the leadership, B.J. Cook. Now, you asked what would they have been without him. Well, I think they would have been cooked without him and his leadership. He's been steady all year.
He brings all the right ingredients, that's for sure.
He sure is. And they've always been able to count on him. I mean, just 17 tonight, and in the regional championship game against Queen Anne's, he had 22. And don't forget to mention Jace Freeman. He's been a monster all year, so they have been doing really well. He's been very strong and being very athletic. I mean, he's a football player, and he's been key for the Tribe. And don't forget about Jalen DeShiel Andrews. He's been clutch at sniping all year with his jump shot.
Yeah, and one more thing. The thing about B.J. Cook, when Y High struggles with making free throws, we've heard it plenty of times this year.
Yep.
That's one thing that they really struggle with. But you know what? When I see B.J. Cook going to the line, I expect him to not only make a shot when he's got the ball in his hands, but I expect him to make those free throws. He's the go-to guy right now for Y High. And when they get to the Final Four, got to clean up the free throws. We've been saying it all year long.
Yep.
Got to clean up the free throws.
And yeah, Jordan, Brandon brings up a really good point. I was at the one game that they lost this year at Bennett, and the reason that they lost was 42 turnovers, but they still could have won because they missed if they were making their free throws.
Yeah, exactly.
I counted at least 8 free throws that they had within the last minute. They only made one of them. So that is something that they have to really clean up, as Brandon says, if they want to advance even further.
Yeah, guys, I'll say it's the easy layups, I think, is when people forget about that stuff. They need to take the easy layups and forget about the sloppy free throws, if in my opinion. But, I don't want B.J. Cook mad at me, but I'm just saying.
All right, Devin, go ahead. We've got some 1A quarterfinals now, huh?
That's right. So I was up at Cambridge. They were on a roll after beating Pocomoke and winning the regional title the other day. And they were facing Francis Scott Key. So did they have enough to take them on and move forward? So the Eagles, as you see right here, had a lot of their fans making the journey to Cambridge, almost a home game on the road from them. Almost. The Vikings crowd was stronger than ever to block out the Eagles supporters. So we're going to jump to the fourth. Anthony Hughes comes up with the board, and he goes coast to coast and finishes the layup. Now the Vikings were up 8, and the Eagles are going to respond. Elijah Harris catching the ball, taking the shot, and knocking it down. But Dario Belizaire, anything you can do, I can do better. Corner pocket, that's good. And he's loving it. He had 17.
Player, great basketball player.
Sure is, and he had 17 on the night. Now, the Vikings were ahead by 4 possessions in the fourth, so they had breathing room, but the Eagles weren't just dead yet. And here's a chance to extend the lead. He had a wide open layup, but he blew it. He has to make those, but don't worry. Jaden Jones cleaning up the mess. But right here, Eagles down 6. They cut into the lead, only down 3 with that corner 3 with less than 1 minute 30 left in the game. He hit that clutch shooting. That was Liam McGrath. But that layup right there, oh, wow. Ty Anthony Stanley with the big man with the and one flex. He was down low showing his strength. Cambridge is going to take it. They're moving on to the state semis to face the #1 seed Lake Clifton out of Baltimore. The Vikings are on a roll. Let's see how far they can go.
Yeah, let's see how far they can go. Meanwhile, in the 3A quarterfinals, Bennett, they had a fantastic season this year. They defeated Y-High in overtime in the regular season, gave them a run for their money in the Bayside South Crown title game as well. But then, they won their sectional title, I should say. But the journey coming to an end tonight across the bridge. Bennett falling to City College. But hats off to the Clippers on a fantastic season. They really showed us a lot this year.
They sure did.
They were the 7 seed going up against the #2 seed. They were going across the bridge. Hats off to Bennett. This was a great season for them.
So like you said, Brandon, a great season from Bennett. But don't forget, Cambridge is still alive in the 1A bracket here.
Yeah, they are. And congrats to Cambridge. They are now in the Final Four. I'm not sure anyone had that coming into the season, but at the same time, I'm not sure anyone really knew what to expect coming into this season, not having a Bayside season last year. The Vikings, they look like they match up with the top seed, Lake Clifton. That's going to be a tough matchup because this team has a balanced offensive attack as well as a solid defense from what I've seen. They've shown a lot of poise this year in tough games. So I'm not sure if Cambridge has that firepower to win this game, but they have shown us a lot of promise going into future seasons.
And they have. I made the trip for their last 2 playoff games, the regional final and their win earlier tonight. Now, I think Dario Belazar is the real deal for this team. Anthony Hughes, their point guard, is very strong, cool, and composed, and they got some good size down low. But as you said, Brandon, they have a very, very tall task ahead of them. But that's the point. I mean, this is the States, so don't count them out. Now, Dario told me himself after their regional final that he and the team, they're going for a ring. One of these.
Absolutely.
One of these.
They're not listening to
ring.
us and saying, oh, you know what, we're going to be the underdogs. Let's just fire that bus up and just leave town. You know what? They are going to go out there. They're going to try and win that ring. So, we're going to sit up here. We're going to say, I don't think they have the firepower to win this game. I don't know. But you know what? They're going to sit at home. They're going to say, you know what? We're going to go out there. We're trying.
Right. So
we're
don't count them out.
You know what? They've got some great athletes. They can do it. They can pull off the upset.
Don't count them out. They're going for that ring. So when you see that type of determination, you can't bet against them.
Guys, I'll tell you this, when I was younger and I was playing sports, I did the best when I was angry. So if they're listening to us say that they're not going to make it, they're going to make it.
Vikings don't have any chance. Go out and prove us wrong.
Need that extra
we want to
motivation.
see you prove us wrong.
Yes, we do. All right, well, that'll do it for the A block. We are taking a commercial break, but when we return, it is the ladies' turn to take that spotlight. A Henlope and South rematch this season on the line. Don't go anywhere. Those highlights are coming up next.
I'm BJ Cook from Wild Hot Basketball. You're now watching Delmarva Sports Insider.